All right, we're back. That's Corey Bellemore right there, and Chris Robertson, the #1 and #2 people in the world right now.
And it's going to be an exciting barn burner of a racer, that's for sure. Corey Bellemore, Chris Robertson, top 2 all time. Corey here in his hometown, racing in Windsor, Ontario. We're on for quite a race here, Travis.
Little side story, John Markle and I were here on Thursday, walked into a bar, and we saw a little running group coming in. We're walking out of it was a brewery, walking out of the brewery, and like, oh, like, hey, do you know about the race this weekend? They go, you mean Corey's? The guy's a legend around here. He is like, you could call him the de facto mayor of Windsor, Canada right now.
He's the man. He's definitely the man, and we'll see what we see from him tonight. I think last year he was in the shape to break the world record again. 4:30 with one shoe on. That's the story. You'll see him there in the custom Canada Flying Monkey speed suit. It's going to be a great race we got going on here tonight in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we got a little bit on Corey, and we'll talk more about him here in just a moment.
He's definitely going to be under world record here. Way under world record. He's on world record. Look at him. He's so smooth. Corey is absolutely steamrolling this race. This is going to be a massive chunk of the world record and something that Bellemore has never seen before. 424.
The guy is on world record pace with one spike. This is absolutely incredible.
He is right at world record pace right now. The fact that he's running shoes.
He is coming, and at the line, it's going to be just shy of his world record.
I definitely think the shoe played a huge factor right there.
We are back, and that was a great little cut scene there. Corey, 3-time world record holder for the standard, 1 time for the cans, 4:49 with the cans, 4:28 with the bottles.
Well, you also got to put a asterisk on there. There's also a one shoe race that he set last year. With the unfortunate, the Brit clipping his foot right out the gate in that crowded start. And he was still under world record pace after 2 laps, but that foot just got him towards the end. Things split wide open, came in with a fully bloody sock, just gritted it out, and still ran the 2nd fastest time of all time, just off his world record.
We'll see that Adidas speed suit, those Adidas spikes. Let's hope to God both those shoes stay on tonight. And for perspective out there, 4:28 the world record. In that race, he averaged 60 seconds per 400, 4-minute mile. There's only been so many humans that have run a 4-minute mile without beers, Travis.
Well, let's talk about Vancouver. I was there for that one. At the 4:24, it was sub 4-minute mile. We did the math, analyzed the video, took out the beer time.
3:57, 3:58.
3:57, 3:58. The guy is world class in terms of just pure track and field. And then he does this as a side sport.
He thought, you know what? Why not run a 4-minute mile? Take a 7-second pause to drink a beer between each lap.
Yeah,
Pretty much what he's doing out there.
I mean, how many people can run just a sub 60, just flat start? But
Very,
repeated
very
times
few.
full.
You take 1,000 people off the street, put them on the track to run a sub 60, you probably get a handful at most.
At most. And then don't forget about Chris, the American record holder at 4:36. Also one of the fastest, perennial leader in this race. Also the leader of Beer Mile Media, which he's one of the people that helps put this event on year over year, along with Nick and John. So we couldn't do it without him. He's the one that you could call him the online hype man.
Correct.
For what we do.
I think Beer Mile Media, Athletic Brewing, Flying Monkey, Long Run Coffee, those are our big 4 supporters here today. And Chris, consistently on the podium at this event over the last decade. I think he's one of very few that have taken part in almost every year of the race. So we'll see. Once again, we're talking about individuals here. Let's talk about the team competition a little bit as well. U.S. has been on an absolute tear for many, many years in a row. Here today we got Team Canada, Team U.S., Team Europe. Looks like the kind of closest level playing field we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's we're thinking it was going to be Team World. Unfortunately, we didn't have the representation from Australia this year, but so it's really more Team Europe. But it still works the same way. There's some great athletes from Europe too. Got Tom from Belgium. I gotta say, the Belgians. There's actually 2 Belgians this year. One of the best track and field races I've ever seen was in Leuven, Belgium, when the Belgians, who are rookies at doing this, absolutely came screaming down the backstretch. It does help when you have a guy that made the finals in the World Championships in the 1,500 meters on your team, but it was just absolutely awesome. You saw Chris Russell right there, been around for the sport for a while.
Marcus
There's Marcus. The Swedes, those guys bring the energy to every event. It's just him representing the country this time instead of a full squad, but they always came in big numbers, and oh boy, London that first year was absolutely just epic watching the pre-party, the pre-race, post-race race. Those guys just keep racing regardless.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be, once again, to tell if anyone's just tuned in, men's race going very soon. Everyone is drinking the Flying Monkeys beer here. Level playing field. 5 men from Canada, 5 men from US, 5 from Europe. Top 3 count. In a matter of minutes here, Travis, we're going to have a world champion and a world champion team. 5 minutes is the golden target in the men's elite field. Yeah. There's only been about a dozen men all time that have broken 5 minutes. We have a handful of them here tonight. We'll see what goes down.
Well, you're one of them.
I am one of them, and it's a hard feat to do. You got to get out hard. You can't be fearful out there in the beer mile. You got to just run hard, chug hard, hope everything stays together.
Yeah, you got Garrett Cullen, another one of those sub 5 minute former record holder himself. So he's been doing this kind of from the beginning as well. Another guy, probably the best technical drinker out of the field right there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the big thing here too is we got a lot of new faces as well. Like looking at Team Canada, only 2 guys, Corey and Gabe Giglione. Haven't seen him in a few years. Came committed last minute. He's out here. He was part of one of the early years as well. So, 3 rookies for Team Canada out of 5. That's interesting. And even for the US, we got a few new faces as well.
Yeah, we got 3 rookies from the Team US, Hayden, Joe, and Andrew. We also, the U.S. actually snuck in a 6th guy, but he doesn't actually count. Nate Beach out of San Francisco, because by time he qualified to be in this race. Look for him to put in a quick time. And then, we've talked about the Europeans. So we've got Marcus from Sweden. You've got Neil from Belgium, as well as Tom. Tom is just the ladies' favorite in the race every year. And then you've got Chris. And then we also, first time ever, Portugal. You got Pedro Gaspar in this race.
5:16. That is extremely respectable. 5:16. And the dangerous thing here, Travis, for everyone to know at home is the people who are newer to the sport are the ones you got to keep the eye on. Because if they haven't done many beer miles, by the time I've done 5 beer miles, I'm getting a lot quicker still. By the time I've done 20, probably getting close to the quickest I'm ever going to do it. Where, I don't know how many beer miles Pedro's done, but he's new on our scene. So maybe we'll get a surprise performance here.
Sky's the limit. Take a look at Corey. We didn't know who Corey was in 2016 when there was a video that got posted online. Nick McFall saw it, found a way to get a hold of him. 48 hours before the race, said, "Hey, we'll buy you a ticket. Can you get yourself to London?"
Yeah, incredible.
And he shows up and sets the world record. People were thinking, 5:45 that may 4:45 that may be the kind of the limit. He goes and runs 4:34.
Yeah,
and has been progressively getting.
And there he is on the screen. And his brother, we should mention all of Team Canada, Canadian myself. His brother Justin Bellemore there to his left. This is his inaugural Beer Mile World Classic. We've also got Maxime Lapierre and Alex Magus. So we'll see here. Canadian myself, American and you, Travis. Who knows? Maybe Europe will surprise us all.
Ooh, yep,
it's going to be really, really close.
Yeah. I did see Gabe actually run a race, the IPA 10K in Northern California, out in Sebastopol, Petaluma, Sebastopol. But anyway, the IPA 10K is a great race that gets put on every year out there. He just showed up.
He is, Gabe has been a nomad for many years, living in many parts of the world, building the running community, incredible work. And you know what? Flew into Canada yesterday, drove into Windsor today. He's here, he's ready to rock. He did admit he's not in the best running mile shape. He's been doing some ultramarathon stuff, but you know what? We'll see what he brings today, Travis.
Well, you know, one other small factor in this race is that Corey was at a wedding just a couple of days ago. So
correct.
Did he put himself behind the 8 ball? Does he have the championship chops today to set a new world record? I think he does.
Corey's
he looked good.
Pretty smart guy. I don't think he'd let the Thursday night get away from him. Sure, he had his fun, but also kept this in mind. And in his hometown, can't see from the camera angle there, but if it panned just an inch to the left, you'd see hundreds. There we go. Hundreds of people out here tonight cheering on from the local community, and quite incredible. Nick McMacken is the individual who got married on Thursday night. There's Corey and Alex to his left. Nick McMacken, who got married out in New Brunswick in Canada, which if you're in the States, it's kind of near Maine, as the reference point there. He raced earlier today, and he came second or third in one of the open sections, running a really fast time. So the guy who got married is actually here tonight. The whole crew of them, about a dozen or 20 of them that were at the wedding, are now here tonight. So there's Corey.
Yeah, I want to say he was second in under 640.
Something like that, yeah. I think he was in the third section.
Third section,
second.
correct? Yeah, had
Something
a good
like
day.
That, under 640. So.
And there's Corey right there. Or
check out the Custom Canada. You can see the Flying Monkey Adidas collab. Pretty cool kit there. And to his left is Andrew Benkovsky. 503 coming in. I don't think he hasn't been at too many of these official races, so he could be a bit of a dark horse as well. Going to be pretty key for the U.S. if they want to. Yeah,
we're about to cut away to the intro video here.
Questions are asked about the limits of humanity, and Corey Bellemore from Canada plans to answer the call. Will he establish yet another world record, or will he wilt in the spotlight, allowing another to swipe the crown? Chris Robertson hails from Chicago and hopes to make his new daughter finally proud by winning the title. Stick around. In mere moments, the men's championship race is next on the track.
All right, we're about to get started. There's some team introductions. There's Marcus pumping up the crowd like we always see.
It is exciting sitting here, Travis. I don't know about you. I'm shaking in my boots here. It's going to be an exciting next 4.5 minutes here.
So what do you think about the weather right now? It's like really, really humid. Fortunately, the weather held off. But do you think this is ideal racing conditions for beer? It's going to make it go down faster. Is it going to make it worse?
I think it's, you know what? I'm just taking a look out to see a flag there. The wind has died down a little bit, which I think is important. For a mile, humidity is important, but not as important as it would be for, say, a marathon. It stayed dry, Travis. It was meant to thunderstorm all afternoon. So, you know, the beer mile gods are blessing us here. We'll see how these athletes do. I think it's pretty good at conditions out there.
Yeah, it held off last year in Chicago, and the next day it dumped.
Yeah,
but we didn't get our race. We didn't get our race canceled, but NASCAR did the next day, which was quite interesting.
And you'll see here at the University of Windsor Alumni Field. Thank you so much for them hosting us here as well, where Corey Bellemore went to university. And you know what? We got a great crowd out here that's going to be cheering on these men as they pound 4 beers and run 4 laps as quick as they possibly can. They'll call the athletes one at a time to the start line here, you'll see. And for anyone who's just tuning in, a quick reminder, the beer mile, 4 beers, 4 laps. Can't open the beer until you're about to start drinking it and the gun goes off. You're going to see that curved line at the kind of middle of your screen. It's the start of the chug zone. And the flat line just below it is where they must finish their beer. You must finish that beer, put it in the little containers you see out there on the track before starting your lap, and you go run 400 meters as quick as you can.
Yep, and you can't have more than 4 fluid ounces left in your bottle. We do measure that. That's really kind of one of the primary ways to get disqualified, or if you step over the line. And Corey Gallagher, our meet official, the reason why we made him our meet official, that guy found a way to bend the rules every time.
He did.
So
he was
the
sneaky.
ideal. Yeah, he was thinking.
He was always, I think the first time I met Corey at one of these things and was kind of thinking, oh, this guy's a bit of a gamer. He said, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's what he said to me, Travis. So he is the best person to be our meet official because I think he's tried it all, so he can see it if it's going on out there. So very clear, the athletes must put their beer down in those bins with the bottom down. You can't turn it upside down so that a lot of the leftover pours into the basket. It is expected. If Corey sees anything, whether it's people pouring beer and spilling it on their face, turning beers upside down, there's Corey, our lead official there. He will give them a yellow card and say, hey, if I see that again, you're out of here.
Yeah. And the other part is this has been the highest level of custody for the beers that we've ever had, too, because of the rules in Ontario. But typically, athletes have to check their beers in before the race. We check them to make sure they're not been tampered with because athletes can do that. We've seen it once before in Vancouver. So he's the man right there. That's Corey, just making sure that we're keeping this thing legit. So if a record's broken or if a championship is made, it's ratified.
100%. And as we saw there with Corey, we want to say a quick thank you to all our volunteers here today as well. Absolutely fantastic. You'll see them in the yellow shirts. There is many, dozens of volunteers making this possible, as well as the officials. You'll see them in the white shirts. Athletics Ontario is our local kind of provincial track system, and we have 5 regulated officials here today. So this is legit.
This is as legit about it in terms of rules and officiating as it's ever been.
And there's John Markle.
Markle right there, the godfather of sport, the person who wrote the Kingston rules back in 1989.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get panned to the start line here again if possible. Just as they're introducing the athletes, would be nice to be able to kind of call them out as they go. But we're getting lots of big cheers here. There's Nick McFalls, co-founder and one of the leaders of hosting this every year in the yellow shirt. You'll see Corey to his left in the referee's jersey. And a whole lot of Flying Monkey beer there. It's about to be consumed.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of beer drank in the next 4 minutes.
That liquid gold right there.
Yeah, I think Corey will be on the inside of the track. Once again, we'll see. They're going to tell them to grab their beers here. So you'll see Corey on the very far right there. I believe Andrew Benkovsky to his left. You see Chris Robertson there. Also Chris Russell from Scotland, you can see on the left side there. So they're just making sure everything shakes out. You can see they've all got bottle openers. These bottles are kind of a pop top. So
that's an interesting question, though, because everybody's running with the same beers. Like, people can customize their own beers as their choice as long as it's 12 fluid ounces, 355 milliliters, and over 5% alcohol. They can do whatever they want.
Correct.
But there's screw tops, there's bottle openers. Do you think that bottle openers are going to play into it for people who've not used to it? Corey does it all the time, but what do you think it's going to matter for the other people?
Great question. So if I was in this field for the last couple months, I would have been practicing a lot, popping off those beers. And if you've been practicing it, it's like my opinion, the first beer should be like shooting a free throw. Should be very, very straightforward, repeatable. You can do it 100 times out of 100. So some of the field probably will struggle, Travis. If they haven't practiced, if they're used to a twist off, might be tough for them. We're about to find out here.
Yeah, I think we are just about to start, so
we'll leave it to the starter. And off we go. We'll see who's out first out of the chug zone. 5-6 seconds.
We'd expect Garrett Cullen to be first out, and sure enough he is. But look at how tight that is right from the beginning. You've got 6 runners all in a pack right there.
I don't see Bellemore.
He's sitting in 4th right now, I think. But he'll a little bit out of front. He's just
all the way out so
front.
fast for the first 100 meters. We didn't even have him in camera shot.
Yeah.
So he actually had a very good first beer there. The big thing, the key for me, in my opinion, for Bellemore here today is to keep it calm on the first lap. In his last world record, he ran 55 seconds for the first lap. He was coming through 61 beer and lap. 55. He's on pace for a 340 mile.
I've mentioned this in last year's broadcast. The most impressive thing I've ever seen was when he ran after his world record in London. He ran a 55 in the relay.
Yeah,
that's
beer and
49 and 6 seconds.
Yeah,
and he's coming through. All right, where are we for a world record time?
So we're wanting him to grab his beer here at 61 to be on world record pace. So he's just about a second behind. But you know what? That's okay, Travis. You know what? Him pacing a little better. We want to see him out the zone by hopefully just over 70 seconds here. I think with him pacing it a bit better, he might be okay here. So we got him off in 73. Couple seconds behind his previous pace, but you know what? He really front-loaded last time. A 55-second opening lap is a little bit too much heat. So we'll see how Corey does. Chris in second, very commandingly. We got a U.S. athlete on the outside that should have already cut in, but that's okay.
Well, that was a 7-second beer right there. Not necessarily as fast as beer either, but you look at the temperature, you look at everything that's going on. You got Team Canada right there. I think that was Alexander.
That was Justin Bellemore.
Justin. It was Justin. Excuse me.
Yeah, and look, we're looking here. It looks like it's pretty bunched up, definitely for a medal position. Just trying to tell if that's the race for second or for third. Chris Robertson had said he isn't in his top form this year, but I think he's got a bit of a gap on the field. Portugal up there early. He's our new, as I said, hasn't run too many beer miles. The big thing too, Travis, as well, from being in there is if you're in that pack, you're used to running a beer mile by yourself out front. All of a sudden there's some jostling and stuff going on. Not a worry for Corey Bellemore at all, though. He's way out in front of this field. We want to see him getting out of the zone, and hopefully around 2:17 is what he did previously. If we can cut to Corey here. Yep. There he is.
Corey is out in
2:20.
2:20.
So
all right.
That's okay. He's got to pick up the pace a little bit. And when I say pick up the pace, he's running these 400s quicker than I think I ever have in my life. So we'll see. It's a great race for second here, though. Chris Robertson has not created the space you might have thought he would have. Chris Russell hanging in there for Scotland.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Chris Russell. This is the the furthest up the field I've seen him in the last 6 years.
And U.S. looking pretty strong up front. Andrew Benkovsky there. Hayden Burrell. I don't know where Garrett Cullen is in the field. Looks like he's a little further back than you would think. But there's Bellemore up out front. We'll see how he does.
He's about 3 seconds off his world record pace after that last beer, right over the line. But the guy's got wheels. You don't know what he's going to close in.
You really don't. And yeah, and his world record, he was coming in and grabbing the beer at 3:20. He's going to be a few seconds behind that here, but we'll see how he closes. Chris Robertson is not safe for second place here. Chris Russell's only a few strides behind him.
Yeah, exactly. And you can hear that crowd chanting, Corey, Corey, as he's coming in for his third beer.
Hundreds of fans here.
All right, he's at 3:22 right now for that beer.
And he's going to need a pretty wicked last lap here. He's going to need a 57. Last time was 61, so he knows the world record's on the line.
That was a quick beer. He got way faster on that one.
And look at this race here.
Bunching.
The team race is far from over here, Travis.
Oh, yeah, no,
it's
it's wide open. Who's ever third for each team in that position is going to determine this race. But look at that gap.
It's just no one else is in sight.
He's a mile ahead of everybody else. You see Gabe coming around and Nate Beach right there.
That's a bit of the story of Corey Bellemore in the beer mile. It's him, and you'd think he's alone out there. He is flying out there, folks. Pretty close to a 4-minute mile. Less than 30 seconds for 4 beers. This is an incredible. I think we'll be a little bit off a world record here, but
I think we're looking at a 32-33 right now.
It's still going to be one of the fastest times all time that he owns all of them. Let's be clear on that. Second fastest all times, Chris Robertson, high 4:30s. Here's Bellemore driving away.
He is motoring, though. He is pushing down.
He is flying. And look at that.
4:30.
4:30 and change. And look, Chris Russell is in it. Is he
Chris
going to get
Russell! Him? Holy smokes! For a second, this might be. This is exciting. He is getting run down. Oh, wow.
Andrew Bevkovsky is coming through as well. Chris Robertson might.
Chris has got to work. All right, I'm starting to see Russell fading a little bit, but I am impressed. I am impressed with him.
And he's going to run a huge personal best here.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Huge personal best. 5:03, his personal best.
Did not expect that right there. 4:56, 4:58.
And he's doing another lap. He must have had,
No, he's just running through. That guy's feeling the euphoria of running a great race.
Going for his victory lap already. Well, Travis, I'm going to let you be here. I'm going to head down to the track, see if we can grab Corey for a little interview.
Yeah, sounds great. There's Corey Bellemore right there. What a great race by him right there. That is one of the fastest of all time. It's about the time he ran last year with one shoe. But the guy just makes it look absolutely easy. Just absolutely easy. As you can see here, coming right out, Garrett with that first beer pretty quick. Marcus, another great chugger. But somewhere in there, you can see just dividing the field right there, just parting the field like Moses and just creating that kind of distance that Corey's so used to. Only in Berlin was he really, really challenged in the first 3 laps and then opened it up on Chris in 2019. You just see him come in, grab that bottle opener really quick, see how smooth that is, boom, right down the gullet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 7 seconds there. I was a little off when I started my counting. Just makes it look smooth as he's cruising down the backstretch right there. Just maintaining his form. Right there, coming into his next beer. That's one of the key parts, too. Your best racing is going to be the 200-meter mark, or sorry, the 100 meters in to 300 meters in. And there's Corey again coming around the next lap. So see him start that deceleration. See that deceleration right there? All right, and there's Corey coming right through, and that 4:30, almost 4:30 flat. We'll get the FAT on that here in a moment. But what a great race. Again, it's top 3, top 4 official times right there, but look at this race right there. Andrew just coming in.
All right, and we are here with Corey Bellemore here in his hometown, Windsor, Ontario. Amazing race out there, Corey. Walk us through how the race went for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to have these people out here. Super happy to put this on and bring it back to Windsor. So honestly, like, this is a dream come true, and
You can't.
whether
Sorry, can you hear us okay on the live feed? Just checking that. Can you hear us okay? Test 1, 2. Okay, we can hear you okay. Yep, you're good. All right, Corey, back to you. Finish up how your race went out there.
yeah, the race was phenomenal. Definitely try to go a bit even pace laps, and happy that all these people came out. Happy to put on a show and close to the world record again. But I mean, nonetheless, like putting on an event like this in my hometown is a awesome feat. So just happy everyone's here for sure.
You know what, Corey? No other human ever has run close to a 4-minute mile and drank beers under 30 seconds like you have. So tell us a little bit about what it means to be in front of the home crowd for the live feed, and then we'll let you speak to the people here live.
Yeah, I mean, stomach hurts a bit, so happy to suffer and feel like this when there's a bunch of people that I know and huge support, huge run community here. So yeah, I mean, you don't feel the pain as much and the suffering as much when there's people like that in the stands.
Well, we'll let you get to it, Corey. We're going to get you a live interview here in front of the crowd with your home people here. Congrats, Corey. What an amazing race.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Wow, that was just a great interview there. Great job by Corey. What an excellent race. Just showed up, business as usual, doing what he has to do as he's supposed to, dominating the race. What's so much fun to watch. I'm trying to figure out the team scores here. As it stands right now, it looks unofficially like Team USA did come away with it with a second, third, and fourth. Garrett Cullen, if his beers hold up, if everyone's beers hold up, it looks like Team USA came away with the team title unofficially. It is going to take some sorting to figure out whether Team Europe or Team Canada was going to be second. The scoring was really tight. Some amazing times out there. Our last place time was 5:50, just top to bottom. All elite times, all fantastic. Marcus with a 5:10. Pedro Gaspar, the Portuguese guy, brand new, just came in at a 5:20. It is so exciting to see new faces in this field, everybody running epic times. You could still hear people chanting Corey's name. It's his home course. There's Marcus there. There's Chris. Chris had an absolutely stellar race. Probably the best I've ever seen him race in the years that he's ever been here. We've got a shot of their Nick giving a interview to the crowd with Corey. It's Corey's homecoming. I'm not sure if we can get any audio on that, but that's just see that big grin on his face. You can see Detroit in the background. We're just right over the water from there. So you got Andrew there at second at 4:57. So we had 3 guys under 5. Chris Russell right at 5 flat. As I mentioned, Pedro there from Portugal there at 11th. We had Joe. So Garrett was actually 10th, but coming back in. So Hayden was the 3rd American. So unofficially, it looks like Team USA won. I would probably say unofficially Team Europe in 2nd and Team Canada in 3rd. But as mentioned, those are going to be unofficial scores. They have to do the measurements, so we'll find out. These results will be posted to beermile.com later this evening. Athletes that come out here every year, put it on the line, risk embarrassment, reach for glory. It is just absolutely astounding for what we can do with the people that we have here.